of my peeps that couldn't be here with us today. All right, let's go. Hey, you guys, so welcome. Most of you guys I know, and I love just connecting with you virtually like this. But if you haven't seen me before or in a while, I am known as the Go-To Girl. My actual name is Natalie Cutler-Welsh. Some people just know me as the Go-To Girl. Nowadays, I'm also using the phrase, you may have noticed, the Up Your Brave mentor. So what that's about is I do help people with confidence and visibility and resilience in business. Okay, so and resilience in life as well, wellness. I'm not a life coach, but I help people with wellness and business, and particularly speaking. So I'm super pumped about today's topic, which is literally presenting online. Okay, so we're really going to focus on that side of things. Just mute yourself if you're coming in. Oh, there we go. She's back again. I'll just mute you on her lovely walk. Okay, so today we're talking a lot about what you guys can do, do's and don'ts, and the 5 Ps, which is something I created that I'm going to share with you. I've been doing this for 15 plus years, and meaning mentoring people, personal development. But in terms of business, it's been just over 8 years. And so I was podcasting before podcasting was cool. I was blogging before blogging was a thing. So I'm super excited to share some of my learnings with you guys today. We're doing a power hour. You can imagine spending more time with me. Imagine spending a whole day with me. You'd have to have a nap afterwards. Awesome. So if you're just jumping on, please go ahead, comment in the chat box, let us know your niche, your product or service. I do have a few more questions for you as well. All right, so what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to go to the screen share first. We're going to show you a little bit of a PowerPoint, and then I'm going to bring you back. So let's see how this goes. Okay. Give me the thumbs up if you can see the screen. Okay, awesome. Can you see the screen die? Yep, thumbs up. Thank you so much. So I did put this together for you guys, partly because I appreciate that not everyone is an audio learner like me. Like some people are visual and they need to see like what the words. And so I've done that for your learning.
I just want to put a comment.
Oh, I just need to mute some people. So I've done that for your learning purposes, and I've also done that to show you guys how, if some of you will want to be doing PowerPoints for your peeps. So I'll just let a few more people in and we'll be on our merry way. There we go. Great. I'm gonna mute Charlene. Okay, here we go. So you guys, amplify your impact, your online presence. Let's do it. Now, I've already asked you to do this, but if you're just jumping in, please do comment in the chat box. What is your niche, your product, or your service? So this is me. This is me, Natalie Cutler-Welsh, speaker, author, impact entrepreneur. I call myself an impact entrepreneur because that is my intention, is to have a massive impact. And by doing the way that I do that is I help shine the light on other people like you that have an amazing product or service, and I just help you get it out there. Like many of you, I am also a busy mother trying to get my kids to do their learning, online learning, while still moving forward with the business. So these are my peeps. These are part of my why. I'm sure you've got your own why and your own peeps as well. So on one hand, I help women entrepreneurs, specifically speakers and consultants, coaches, to amplify their impact. I also, as you probably know, 4 years ago, I added doTERRA to my business because I noticed that a lot of people were overwhelmed, overworked, and they weren't making the money they wanted to make. So I added doTERRA, and I have to tell you, now that we're experiencing lockdown, and this is where things really you really start to see the gaps in your business when you can't do your business in your normal way. And thank goodness, I feel really happy that I added doTERRA, because not only can I help people with health and wellness, but my money keeps coming in. So that is brilliant. So what I want to ask you guys today, for this particular online training that we're doing, what is your intention for speaking? Yes, but let's use online presence. So for presenting online, what is your actual intention? So if you can comment in the chat box, just so that I know, what are you wanting to do? So you might, let's get specific on platform. Is it Facebook Lives? So you would type in Facebook Live. Is it that you want to do Zoom meetings or something? Do you want to be doing Instagram Lives, LinkedIn Lives? Do you want to interview people? Do you want to do a panel? So give me an idea of what you're wanting to focus on. I know where I want to focus. I want to know where you want to focus. Cool, so just type that in the chat box and I will hopefully be able to see it at some point. It's always interesting when you're doing if you guys haven't done this before, when you're doing Zoom and you're also sharing a PowerPoint, you have off to one side 4 of the people. You can't see everybody. And then you also have your chat box. So there's quite a few things to manage. So that's always good to, for people to appreciate that. All right, we're going to go to the next slide. The other thing I want to ask you is in terms of your intention. So anyone that's worked with me, or even if you haven't, you've probably heard me say, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? Like, I really am very strategy minded. And I often do this. I'll say, like, what is your actual intention? Like, where are you heading? So for you, have a little think about that. If you feel like, oh, I want to do Facebook Lives, I want to do Zoom, I want to dig a bit deeper. Is that because you want to raise your visibility, which is totally valid, you know, so that people find me online? Is it that you want more clients? Is it that you just want to get your knowledge and educate people? You want to get the education out there? Is it that you want to sell a product or a program? It's so crucial always before we click record, before we go live on anything. It's like, hang on a tick. What am I actually trying to achieve? So I want to encourage you to think about that as well before getting lost in all the what topic should I cover, what should I say, and all the questions, okay? So for you, is it that you just want to, you know, this is Josie here. Is it that you want to be able to go live and educate or entertain or like get some clients? Like, what is it about for you? So comment in the chat box. If you don't feel like commenting in the chat box, no dramas. Please go ahead and write it down on a piece of paper for yourself, because this is an important exercise to go through. Amazing. I'm just going to stop share for a second and make sure there's no one waiting in my waiting room. Okay, we're all good. I'm coming back to the comments for a sec. Yay, we have people in coaching. We have breathing educator, Nikki. We have interior design with Christina and teaching of all sorts. Love it. Can't wait to hear about the teaching of all sorts. Edit does yoga and sex therapy. If that doesn't pass the eyebrow test, I don't know what does, right? The eyebrow test is when you tell people what you do and they kind of lean in and their eyebrows go, oh, really? Right? If you say what you do and they have a flat face, then maybe you need to make it sound a bit more interesting. Just add the word sex, that'll do the trick. Sarah, she's down in Dunedin, maternal mental health coach and speaker, awesome. Gracella, osteopath, owner of the Graylin Osteopathy. We've got Deb, wellness in schools. Oh, that's so awesome. Essential oils coach, kids yoga teacher, Gloria, teaching violin, sea kayak guide. We've got people from all over. I love learning. I know most of you anyway. I love learning the different niches that we're covering today. So here's what you guys want to focus on. Facebook Live to educate on products, Zoom Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, group coaching calls. Great, Michelle definitely will be talking about group coaching calls. I use Zoom. So when I do my calls, so I've got this group, you guys might have heard of it. It's called Amplify Membership. Twice a month, I do a call like this, where we're on the call together. So it's called Live Online, right? It's not pre-recorded video. We're actually there, just like right now, like I'm actually here right now, and so are you. So you're doing live online coaching calls, and that's in a private space. So it's not getting live streamed to a public audience. So just have a little think about how you guys are wanting to do things online. Kamni, Facebook Lives, Zoom events, and panels. Love it. I know Kamni's doing she's a Intimo bra fit specialist, and she's actually doing consults online now. A lot of you have had to do that. You've had to suddenly tweak or pivot, and you've had to change the way you're doing it. And I love seeing that resilience. And so that's one of the things I want to help you guys today. I want to empower you to do more of it, but not just more, but to know why you're doing it so you get the results that you actually want. Instagram Live, Facebook Live, awesome. More technical knowledge of Zoom. Okay, great. Facebook Live. Okay, I have like lots of Facebook Live here. Great. So I can do a little screen share and show you guys a little bit of Facebook Live. They recently changed it up. They love to keep us guessing. So you can do Facebook Live either on your phone, as you know. You just simply go to the page you want to channel it into, and you can set it up. But I found if you're doing it on your computer, and you can mainly only do it from Chrome, not Safari, they've changed the way it looks. It's actually harder, and you almost don't know where, because it brings your camera into the bottom, but really you need to be looking up there. So it's very confusing at the moment. Charlene, go ahead. You got a question?
Oh no, someone just put in the chat that someone's trying to get in.
Oh, thanks. I just added. It was Annabelle. Welcome, Annabelle. Lovely to see you on the news last night. Annabelle was on the news talking about how hard it is for pharmacies when people cannot come through the door. So if you're a physical bricks and mortar business, there will be some of you here. it's a totally different situation. And I was messaging with Annabelle last night going, you could do this, you could do that. So there are certain things that you can do as a business to be more resilient. Thank you, Celia, for letting us know that someone's in the waiting room. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint, but I will come back to you guys here and answer some questions about Zoom and Facebook Live. So get your questions ready for question time. Here we go, back to the screen share. So what I was asking you is really to hone in on your why of why you want to go live, right? So for me, when I do my lives on around business and speaking and that type of thing, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I want to make sure I tell people about my Amplify membership. So that is my intention, not all the time, but when I'm doing my Facebook Lives at the moment, that's what I'm wanting people to do. That's the action that I'm wanting them to take. So I want you to do the same thing and think about who are the people. Some of these ladies are actually watching with us today. Who are the people you're trying to speak to? What action do you want them to take? Like, so what is your intention for you? More clients, sell your program, whatever, get them to make a booking. But also, what is the intention that you want them to take? So what action do you want them to take? This is literally my setup right now. So you guys can see what's behind me, my pretty board that my husband made, my book, my product placement of essential oils, my credibility, which is my certificates on the wall, my master's of environmental education, et cetera, et cetera. But what it looks like to me is what I'm showing you guys here, right? My dream board on the side, bit of mess around the place, cup of water. I always drink out of a wine glass, even if it's not wine, makes me feel fancy. The kids know it's my mommy's drink, not theirs. Okay, so you might have heard me talk about this before, but this is a crucial starting point for us. What I've noticed in my 15 plus years, right, is that so many people are living, and particularly let's wear our business hat right now, and particularly with your online presence or presenting online. A lot of people they're in the disconnected zone where they're like, oh, I'm doing a Facebook Live here, I'm doing a Zoom call there. I don't even know why, I'm just doing it. Like they're just going through the motions. They're kind of driven by the busyness, but they're not connected to their overarching intention. Other people will be in what I call the should zone. So you're in the should zone when you're driven by duty and obligation. You're kind of sitting there thinking, oh, I really should do another Facebook Live. Gosh, I really should start a podcast. Oh my gosh, I really should do a Zoom call for my clients. Like you're literally using the word should. That's a good flag. Or you're going, I need to do this and I need to do that. So you're in the should zone when you're literally driven by duty and obligation. And you're saying words, like languaging is very interesting. It highlights what we're doing. You're saying should, need, and just all the time. I need to do this. I should do that. I said I would. Okay? So you're in the should zone when you're doing those things. The next zone I call the frustration zone. You're in the frustration zone when it's really starting to bother you. Like you're like, you know what? Enough is enough. I need to take action. Like, and some of you might be going, okay, it's time for me to go live online. It's time for me. And some of you are in that zone because of COVID. Suddenly you can't see your peeps in person. Suddenly you have to tweak or pivot, or you have to actually click the button and do the Facebook Live because, your options are limited. I know we're going to level 3 next week. Things are going to change, but things will never be the same. So this is a great time actually for you to revisit how you're doing things. So you're in the frustration zone when you're actually feeling bitterness and resentment, maybe towards your computer or your phone. You don't understand the tech, or maybe towards, the fact that you're like, oh my God, I didn't really have plan B. Like I literally only can make money when people are seeing me in person. So you don't have that leverage and you're in the frustration zone. Okay. But where we want to head to is what I call the impact zone. I often refer to it as the up your brave zone. I'm calling it the impact zone because when you're in that zone and people are like, Nat, you're so busy now. Oh my gosh, with COVID, like you're everywhere. I'm like, yeah, I was like, this is what I was made for. Because I help people get online and I help people with health. It's like exactly my 2 areas. And I feel great. And so I'm ready to help people, but I want to help more people get into the zone that I hang out in, which is called the impact zone. You're in the impact zone when you are literally driven by empowered choices and intentional actions. So when I go live online, I don't go, oh, I really should do a Facebook Live. I go, okay, I want to get 5 more people into my program that, this week, or in the next 10 days. I'm going to do a Facebook Live and share with people a couple of tips and strategies that they can use. So you're really coming back to that overall intention. You're living life with intention, and you feel like you are having an impact. Like I literally launched 2 things in the middle of COVID. Why? Because my Amplify membership was a way for more people to get my guidance without paying me $1,500, $3,000. It was a more accessible option. So I created it. I opened the doors literally to something I was already doing for my clients. Secondly, I launched my live stream series, which is called Up Your Brave live stream. And that's another way for me to have more impact, but not doing it by myself, just bringing in other amazing speakers and experts who can help in their area. So what I'd love for you guys to do is comment in the chat box, yes, or the name of the zone if you know what zone you're in. Do you know what zone you're operating in right now in terms of your online, presenting online, okay? Are you in the disconnected zone? Are you in the should zone, like I really should do it? Are you in the frustration zone, like I want to do it, I just don't know how? Okay, so where are you? Just comment yes, or if you want to name the zone, good on you, in the chat box. So go ahead and do that now. Oh, interesting. Lots of frustration, lots of should. Go, Charlene. Charlene's in the impact. That's cool. Celia, nice. Awesome. So okay, that's great. So my next question is, comment in the chat box, yes, if you're in the zone that you want to be in. You guys know I talk a lot about want. I always touch my heart. And that's because in the, do you actually want to be in that zone? Are you happy? And if you are happy in the frustration zone or the should zone, sweet as. But if you're not, I'm going to give you some steps today to get you out of it. So, but I want to know, are you in the zone that you want to be in? So comment yes or comment no. Yeah, and Judith, yeah, you can be in between. You can be in between the frustration and the impact zone for sure. Yep. Want to, but just don't know how exactly. So today I'm going to give you guys some strategy tips. I do call it the Up Your Brave zone. What you actually need to do to navigate from one of those 3 zones across to the impact zone is you do need to up your brave. So thank you for joining me today, because it's even upping your brave just to be here. You do need to up your brave, but the missing piece that I find a lot of people don't have is what I call an impact strategy. Like they know they want to have more impact, they don't know how. I'm calling it an impact strategy, and that's actually what I do. Literally help people to create their impact strategy and to take action to make it happen. There's no point having a plan and a strategy if you're not going to do something about it. So let's dive in and give you a couple tips to make you guys move forward today. One of the things I love to say, if you don't love it, don't do it. And in the impact strategy, for some people, we're going to cross out. We're going to get rid of some things that you're doing that are literally time suck, or you don't need to be doing them yourself. Okay, so let's talk about some ideas for presenting online. Some of you guys that maybe haven't done it, I want to remind you, it doesn't have to all be talking head. Like it doesn't have to be your face the whole time. You can screen share, like right now I'm screen sharing. So if you want to do, for example, Michelle, if you want to do meetings with your clients, but you want to have leverage, so you want like 6 or 7 or 10 or 20 or 100 clients at the same time, you can screen share. Like you can go into Xero and show them how to do the accounting. It doesn't have to be your face the whole time. So everyone knows you can screen share. Well, on the camera, on the phone, you probably know that you can flip the camera so that it doesn't always have to be your face. You can literally be walking down the street and say, hey guys, I'm just taking a little stroll during lockdown, and I wanted to show you something that really sparked an idea for me, and maybe this is something that can help you in your life. I'm going to flip the camera and show you what that is. Click, and then you flip the camera and you show them, and maybe it's a fence or a sign, or maybe it's, I don't know, a building or something. Maybe it's a metaphor. You get my point. You can flip the camera. It doesn't have to be all your face. Of course, you can do talking head. You can also do demo. So one of the things I do a lot, you guys, with the essential oils, is I'll literally hold things up, or I'll show them how to like DIY. But remember, I don't know if you guys can all see my face. You can tilt this camera. Can you guys see me? Give me the thumbs up. You can tilt the screen literally and do a DIY. And it's not about your face at the moment. It's actually about my boobs and my necklace. But you can see that you can show a product even if you're doing it on the laptop. right? Whereas on the phone, you can lean it up against something. You don't need to have fancy things. Often I'll just grab something like this. This is like my pen holder. And on the table, I'll just lean the camera against it. Like you don't have to have some fancy grippy technology thing. You can literally just lean it against even a glass. As long as it's not going to get tipped over, like this is a heavy glass of water, I can lean it against that. Okay, so just some thoughts on how you guys can actually take action. I want you to get out of that paralysis. So you can do a demonstration like I was doing, or sometimes I'll do an unboxing. So if you've got a product-based business, you can literally go, hey guys, I'm super excited to show you my new order just came in, and you literally do an unboxing. And you can do that on time lapse, you know, where it just shows, you know, that you take your time, but it shows it in quick time, or you can do it live, or you can do it as a pre-recorded video. Does everyone understand the difference between live versus pre-recorded? I want to make sure I touch on that. I don't want to assume that you guys know what I'm talking about. So a live video is like, so this, what we're doing today, it is live online, but we're not live streaming out to the masses. It's just who's here is who's here. What I'll do later is I'll send the recording. So I'm going to send the recording. So that's a pre-recorded video. Hey guys, if you missed my online training, click here to watch the replay so they can watch it. Okay. Whereas a live video is literally Facebook Live, where you're going straight into your Facebook page or a Facebook group, or Instagram Live, where again, you're going live, but it's into your Instagram audience. Or now you can actually apply to do LinkedIn Live. So not everyone's able, but if you show them that you're that you have a big audience and that you're committed and that you're doing topics that are relevant to LinkedIn, you can fill out the one pager and apply to do LinkedIn Lives as well. Now, someone also asked about doing Zoom Live, and that is something you can definitely set up. You just need to go into your settings in Zoom, and there's so many different settings that you can create in Zoom, like passwords on or off, but you can definitely create, enable Zoom Live. Now, what I'm not sure about is if you need to have the paid account. I have the paid account, so I can do Zoom Live. Maybe someone here knows the answer. I don't know if it's something you can do if you have the free account. Lisa, how do I do time lapse? Yeah, that's a feature on your phone. So all you do is you go to your camera and your phone. And then once you go to your camera, you can slide along the bottom, slow-mo, video, square, pano. Time lapse for me is one of the options. So I'll fling it along to time lapse. I did this with my daughter. We were doing like a workout, like sit-ups and push-ups and all sorts. And we literally leaned it up against something like this. And we did our workout for 20 minutes, but we time-lapsed it. So that then when I posted it, it literally took like 30 seconds for people to watch our 20-minute workout. So you can do that. So it depends on, again, what is your intention? What is your goal? What am I showing people? So if you are into yoga or fitness or health, time-lapse is great, right? Or you might want to do a live online Zoom call where you get people to click the button to join you and to do the actual training. Like one of my clients at the moment, one of my ex-clients, Tracy, she does baby massage, and she just set up her very first Zoom baby massage training. So people will show up like this live online, and they'll be massaging their baby while she's demonstrating and talking them through it. So that's the difference. I hope that clarifies for people. Yeah, you have hyperlapse. Yeah, that sounds like the same type of thing. Awesome. Okay, great. I'm going to carry on with my presentation, and then we're going to go to some questions, and I can literally screen share some things for you guys if you need that. What I want you to do is make some notes for yourself. What are some things you can be doing for presenting online? Is it unboxing? Is it, flipping the camera? Is it mentoring your clients on Zoom, etc.? I use WordSwag a lot. So when I'm creating images, I use WordSwag. But basically where I tend to do my lives is I do Facebook and Instagram. I recently started using something called StreamYard. So one of the things I do, I'm a little bit of a geek, and I always try to keep my peeps, the people that I'm working with, really up to play with the latest and the greatest technologies. So StreamYard is something I recently discovered, started using it for my, my Up Your Brave panel that I've been doing. And here's the benefit, is that you can have guests. So this is me, and I'm kind of interviewing, or I have this panel, it's me plus 3. I always try to have a guy, by the way. I'm trying to like bring the boys in. I always try to have a guy, at least one guy if possible, once a week. And what that allows me to do on StreamYard is I'm on the pro plan. I pay $49 American a month, but I can stream it to 5 different platforms at the same time. So when I have a guest, I'll say to them, hey, listen, if you want to stream it to your Facebook page or a specific group, just make me admin, like for the day, and I can link it up to StreamYard. So yesterday, we did Staying Well in Times of Challenge with all these people that are in the wellness niche. And we went to Brad's Everfit page, Josie's Me Time with Josie page, Shelly's Shelly Gow with Functional Nutrition page, my Natalie Cutler Welsh Go-To Girl page, and my YouTube channel. So we did 5. So I get to pick where they go. As long as they make me admin, I can shoot it out to their pages. Otherwise, I'll do it into my private group or wherever I want to go. So I wanted to show you guys that, okay? I wanted to show you that this is an option. StreamYard is free if you want to live stream to one platform. So if you want to live stream, but you want to have a guest or co-host, like you want 2 people, then you can use live stream and you can live stream it. Sorry, you can use StreamYard and you can live stream it to one platform like YouTube or Facebook or something like that. That's going to be free for you. I can give you my affiliate link, by the way, because if you upgrade to the next plan, I think it's $29 American, you can stream to 3 platforms at the same time. So we're leveraging your time. We're leveraging your audience, because when you're live streaming, you get way more organic reach than you do if you post a pre-recorded video. In case you're wondering, why would I live stream? There's so much pressure. It's live. I know. And people are able to comment and question in real time. It's exciting. Some of you might think it's super scary. You don't have to do it. But if your goal is to get more interaction, more organic reach to grow your visibility, then live streaming is a great idea. On the pro plan, I get to go out to 5. So I wanted to show you that. The other thing I want you to look at in this picture is to look at everyone's background, because soon I'm going to share with you the 5 F's that I want you to think about when you're doing your videos. Okay? So Brad, he's got a painting behind him and a white wall. He's wearing a branded t-shirt. Literally before we go live, I literally message everybody, what color top are you wearing? Right? It's same thing with my clients when they go on TV. I'm like, what are you wearing? What are you seeing? What's your backup outfit? It depends what the co-hosts are wearing, right? These are all the things you're gonna have to think about. Shelly, so Shelly's got this beautiful toy plant. She's got some sort of written thing behind her. I know what it is. It's a recipe for Afghans or something. And so, that's what she's got. And then Josie's got a couch and a TV. So you want to make sure that your background is on brand with whatever you're all about, or not too messy. Yes, you can use these special backgrounds, which I'm going to show you in a moment. On Zoom, now you can use these kind of fake backgrounds behind you. And I'm going to give you some tips, some do's and don'ts on that for sure. Let's talk about the 5 F's. I'm going to come back to you actually. Stop share. Okay, we're going to do the 5 F's. Let's do it. Can you guys all see me okay? Amazing. So I'm going to bring you into gallery view. I can see all of you guys now, which I actually much prefer. I can see all of you guys. So I've got Michelle waiting. So, oh gosh, she might have been there for a while. Here she comes. Okay. Not in yet. Okay. Hey, there we go. Michelle, no, she's not in. Okay, I can see all you guys now. So let's do the 5 F's. Michelle, thank you for joining us. Now, Michelle is a friend of mine from Canada. So if you don't know me, I'm a Canadian Kiwi, but Michelle was my sister's roommate at university in McGill in Ottawa. She lives down the road from me, and she rang me a few weeks ago, hey Nat, I'm getting interviewed, or I'm gonna do a Facebook Live. What do I need to know, right? So she was helping with maternity and women going into hospital during COVID and what they needed to know. And here's what I said to her. Stand up when you do the radio interview. When you stand up, it raises your vibration. If you are generally more of a calm person, which I'm not, in case you didn't notice, but even when I go on radio, I stand up and I'm doing an interview on my phone, I'm standing, because you're more alive and energetic. Just like when you're on stage, you're not sitting unless you're on a panel, on a stool. And if you are on a stool, don't wear a short skirt, not a good look. So there's so many things to think about. So she called me up, Nat, what do I need to know? So we had a bit of a talk, and I'm going to share with you guys some things today. So let's talk about the first F, okay? Focus. Well, before you go live, what is your intention? What is your goal? So I said to Michelle, what is your goal? She's like, I want the women to know that they can still go into hospital. They will be safe, but they need, these are the things they need to be aware of. So again, before you click the button, what is your intention for going on live or doing the record on Zoom or whatever you're doing? So that's focus. That's the first F. You know what? Can I, Cammy, my darling? Oh, you're on your phone. Can someone who's not on their phone type it? Sharon, can you do the notes for me? Can you just do the F's? So just write focus and then send it in, and I'll do the next one. So the next one is fashion. You guys may or may not know that I love op shopping. I am a total eco geek from way back. So pretty much 50% of what I wear every single day is from the op shop. This is pre-loved. This is pre-loved. My leggings are new. So generally, that's just the way I roll. But what is my point? My point is make sure you're wearing something that makes you look good. So if you don't know what that is, think about what is the outfit that when I wear it, people go, oh, that looks awesome on you, or you look great today. You need to wear that outfit. Like I literally have beside me a bunch of different jackets, and I'm just ready at any given moment to look a little bit more professional or a little bit more, depends who I'm talking to, depends what they're wearing. It depends what I'm trying to do, but I have jackets that I can just throw on to change my outfit. So fashion is important when you're doing these videos. So Michelle, if you're gonna be hosting something with a bunch of your clients, you know, be your brand, but be yourself, okay? But you need to think about fashion. So I'm not gonna wear, when you guys go on TV, if anyone's interested in that, they always say, don't wear jangly bracelets. Like you need to be really careful about the noise, or earrings that are gonna make noise. So think about that as well. Now also remember, they're only gonna see you from the top up, okay? So you can literally, the other day I was wearing sweatpants, like no joke, it's not a thing. We actually do that. I was wearing sweatpants, but then I had to go grab something off my shelf. I was just doing a wellness consult. It was no big deal, but I had to go and grab something. And when I do that, you can see that I'm actually wearing like activewear with this top. So just keep that in mind that, you know, people just be wearing what you want to be wearing. Okay. Next F, thank you so much, Sharon. The next F is framing, okay? When you're doing a live or a video by yourself, like just you, it doesn't matter. Like if you have a banner behind you, I know Judith has a banner about confident eating, which is her niche, and she usually sits off to the side so people can see the banner. That's fine. Wow, look at my chair. Look what happens when I move away. Isn't that interesting? So what I want to make sure is if you're on a panel or an interview, you want to make sure that you're in the center of your screen, okay? And what is interesting too is you might be all set up on Zoom, but then when you jump on StreamYard, it's wider. Like one of the guys I was interviewing, he's like, oh my God, you can see way more than I bargained for. Like it was just a different setting. So make sure you've got buffer room in your background. So often on Zoom, I will jump on ahead of time and I'll literally run around moving things that are either distracting for the viewer. I did one the other day. I was wearing a beautiful sequin top and that was fine. But I had one of my sequin pillows. Where are they? My sequin pillows behind me. And it was just like, I don't know if it's even possible, it was sequin overload. It was OTT even for me. And I didn't notice, and I never moved the pillow. But if I had noticed, I would have like either changed my top or moved the pillow. So you can see I've got light. I've actually got a curtain over there streaming. That's what that is. So that's the other thing. Just be aware. It doesn't matter. It's not bothering me. But if it distracts your viewer, they're not going to be listening 100% to what you're saying. Okay? If I was to move my desk back, which I'm thinking of doing, because now that I got that board behind me, it's really busy. So I might move my desk back away from the window and it will cut out some of the decor. So I just want you guys to do the same thing. Really be aware of your framing. Thank you so much, Sharon. So the next one is your face. Okay, so be aware of your face. Darn it, I tried to send myself on email. I've got this photo of me. I want to just show you. I'm going to email it to you. Newsflash, I do not roll out of bed looking like this. The difference between this face and the other face is literally 10 minutes, probably 8. Like it doesn't take long, but I am literally gonna send you guys, I'm probably gonna post it on Facebook, put my ego aside for 5 seconds. I'm gonna show you what I actually look like. And some of you have stayed at my house, you know, if you stay at my house, you'll see, like I do not always look like this. I don't always wear makeup, but make sure that when you rock up for your video, you look like the confident, branded version of you. When I'm doing a health and wellness video, I actually scale down the makeup. Like it's not as much of a thing. But if I'm doing a video like this, where I am the Up Your Brave mentor, and I'm role modeling, I feel way more confident looking like this than the picture I'm gonna send you an email. I'm literally gonna send an email to my whole list of 3,000. I'm gonna be like, me without makeup. That is literally the subject line. I'm scared, but I'm excited to see what people say. And I've got these 2 photos and the difference is 8 minutes. but wow, what a difference. The other thing you need is a good bra, talk to Kamini. Honestly, if I was just to wear like a sports bra, it doesn't make me feel as confident. So you want to show up as the confident version of yourself. Awesome, so that's your face. The other part of your face is where you're looking at the camera. When I've got all you guys on the screen, I'm like looking at you, I'm all over the show. Just like when I'm on stage, I really like I make eye contact with a couple people. You know how you do that? You kind of have your anchor people that you just go to, especially the smiley person in the front. You love that person. But when you're on screen like this, you want to engage with people, but you don't want it to look like you're watching like a tennis match and you're not focused. So it's almost a balance between engaging with people and actually staying focused. So look at my eyes now, like I'm looking straight at the camera right now, versus like looking at you guys, you know, some of you, and changing. So just be aware of what that looks like to you as the viewer and how does that feel. Okay, I'm gonna go back to speaker view. So here I am again, so I'm looking right at the camera right now. And then here's me looking, I can only see you guys along the top. Here I am looking at you guys along the top. Just take note of the difference of my eyes and how you feel as the viewer. That's what I wanna highlight to you. Okay. So the other thing, the final F is finale, which the finale, like your finish. So this comes back to intention. What is your goal? Why are you doing this Facebook Live or this Zoom? So always know at the end of your Facebook Live, what you want to say at the end. Has anyone done a Facebook Live and suddenly you're doing it and it's going great and you're engaging with the comments and then you're like, okay, bye. Like you just don't know how to like leave or like how to wrap it up. So always before you click record, just know what is my finale? Like, what do I want them to do? So if it is, hey guys, hope that those tips are really helpful for you today. What I would love is if you have any friends that might resonate with some of that or that might help them get through this crazy time, go ahead and tag them in a comment below. So my call to action is to get them to comment and tag a friend. It doesn't always have to be buy my product, buy my program, right? So it might be, hey guys, so I hope that's been helpful for you. So what I'd love you to do today is make sure you take action. I know we talked a lot about breathing and gratitude. So the one thing I want you to take from this is to make sure that you notice, do your daily gratitudes or whatever. Just give them something actual to do, but only give them one thing. Don't say tag a friend in a comment, do your daily gratitudes. And by the way, buy my gratitude PDF program or whatever. Like, don't give them 3 things. Just give them one clear call to action. Tell them what to do and make it easy. Okay, we're gonna go back to this. Oh, you know what? Any questions? Let's go to questions. And you can just unmute yourself. It's probably easier. Any questions on the 5 Fs or Facebook Live? I've got a little bit more coming up, but let's just see if we've got any questions so far.
Nat?
Yes.
I like to show my banner.
I know you do.
So am I okay to be off center if that shows my banner, or is that distracting?
So, when we did, so Judith was one of my guests. Thank you so much, Judith. And so was Celia. She's here today. And we did supporting kids through times of challenge. Now, Judith is a specialist with picky eaters and confident eating. And that's great. But what I noticed is that she was off center because of her banner. And so I don't know if anyone else cared, but for me, I kind of wanted you to sit center, but I didn't tell you to sit center. But I knew that you were off center because of your banner. So even in a scenario like this, I think it's fine. If you're doing a video, just a video, it's just you, it's fine. But on a panel, or if you're interviewing someone or being interviewed, I would say sitting center is more important than showing your banner.
Okay.
I'm going to close my curtain. I'll be right back. The joys of having a north-facing house. Okay, so that is one other thing, you guys, with your face. I am intentionally always facing the window, okay? And I do a lot of stuff about showing you guys, if you do a video like this and the window's on one side, you're gonna literally look shady and the trust level is gonna decline. So facing the window is intentional, but sometimes I close the curtain because it's just too bright. So did someone else have another question? Just unmute yourself. Sarah says, I need to do more finales. Yeah, just like make it really clear. And sometimes what I do, here's the thing, if you're doing a Facebook Live, you can get distracted. You can even forget what your freaking topic is because, people comment and you go off on a tangent. So what I actually do is the same thing I tell my people if they're going on TV, radio, doing a Facebook Live from home. I say, write down the 3 things that you definitely want to say, regardless of what they ask you. Celia went on radio the other day, yay, talking about getting children outside and how it's so good for their health, nature time. And I said to her, write down, the 3 things you definitely want to say, regardless of what they ask you. If you don't write it down, you will literally forget. When I go on TV, to the AM show, I just have like a little note with me, not a flappy, noisy piece of paper. This is card. You can't hear it, right? It's card. Okay, so not a noisy, flappy piece of paper that's going to be distracting. But I write down, what are the 3 things I definitely want to say? And when I say them, I literally cross it off. Because in the moment, your heart's pounding, your adrenaline's working, and you literally go, I cannot remember if I already gave it. They're like, let's have your next tip. And you're like, what tip did I already say? Like, you literally can't remember. So I always say to people, write it down, cross it off. And here's the other thing, write your website down. So if your call to action, Sarah, is like, hey guys, I just wrote a great blog all about this. Like, I know I only touched on it now. If you want more info on how you can be an awesome mom, whatever, go to my blog. All you need to do is visit. And then you go, oh my God, am I .com or .co.nz? Like, in the heat of the moment, you literally can't remember. So I would say write it down so that quickly, if you need it, you can refer to your little card. So I hope that's helpful too. Annabelle, how do you get more interaction on your Facebook Live? There's a few things you can do. Number 1 is to tell people you're going live before you go live. So to use Michelle's example again, she gave people like 3 or 4 days notice. Hey guys, I'm going to be going live at 8:00 p.m. on Tuesday night next week. And like, so you can literally schedule it and tell them. Or some of you, I would recommend, like, I do Wellness Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 10:30, I show up. It used to be in person. Like, I used to meet people at an actual cafe with actual coffee. But now I do it as a live stream. So I've adapted my model. But what I'm saying is you can literally have consistency. So I don't really like doing stuff at night, but if you do, you could do like 8 p.m., on Thursday night or whatever you choose. Personally, I would avoid the Jacinda times. Like, so when Jacinda does her daily report, try not to do, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock or whatever, because a lot of people will be, try not to do 6 o'clock because people are watching the news now more than they ever have before. So just be a little bit smart about it. Like, who are my people? When are they available? And what's a good time? So to answer your question, Annabelle, more interaction is give them warning, show up consistently, but give them notice and even give them reminders. Like, you might even do a photo that says going live in 5 minutes. And then you post that photo on Facebook and Instagram to give them a little reminder. So it's kind of the tell them what to do and make it easy thing. So that's to make sure people show up. To get more interaction is just to pepper it with questions. So I've been doing that with you guys today. Like, usually people go, where are you watching from? Geographically, let us know your city, because that's pretty easy. That's a great one to get the ball rolling. But what happens is the more comments you get, the more organic reach you get, the more people see it, the more people join. But you also want to keep your questions focused on what you're doing. So I did that at the start. I was like, do you guys want to know about Facebook Lives, Zooms, Instagram Live? Let me know in a comment. So if I was doing a live stream, that would help my organic reach. So there you go. Celia says, I always ask where people are watching from or some question they can answer easily. And she seconds the scheduling. She's got heaps of interaction with her lives. Yes, Celia had this massive reach of like 5,000 or I don't know, type it in the chat box, Celia. It was so amazing. So Judith, I've been advertising 5 days in advance and then doing quick reminders. Yeah, you really do. Like, you have to kind of nurture people along to remind them to show up. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my screen share and finish up my little Prezi for you. And that's another tip for you guys. If you're going back and forth, it can be confusing. Don't click the wrong button. Don't suddenly end your Facebook Live at your Zoom call at the wrong time. So we talked about the 5 F's, the things to think about. So here is another example of StreamYard, but what I want you to focus on is the backgrounds of each person. So there I am wearing a bright blue top. Everyone tells me how great I look in blue. I was 40 years old when I finally got my colors done. Turns out I don't look amazing in burgundy, brown, and gray. And I've been wearing those crazy colors my whole life. I'm 46 now. So for 6 years, I've been wearing the right colors. So I'm saying to you guys, get your colors done, or just think about what are the colors that you wear when people comment on how great you look, okay? So Karen Tui Boys, she's got a really cool background. It's just like in her kitchen or something. When you're in the kitchen, you need to be aware of audio. It can be quite echoey. So just make sure it's not too echoey. Cam, who was amazing, Cam Calhoun, what an honor to have him as a guest. So he just goes for the white background, but as you can see, he's got the shadow, like we can see his hat on the wall. No big deal, but it's something to be aware of. Carrie Dell, also a wellness mentor. She's got a background, but what I noticed about her, she's quite pale. Her top is beige, her background's white, so there's a lot of blendy. So what I would say is like, just make sure you stand out from your background. If I was to wear like a brown, not that I would, or gray jacket, I would totally blend in with my couch, and that would look really bad. I'd look like a floating head. So be really aware of, no joke. So be really aware of what you're wearing. When I coach people for going on stage, I always say to them, you got to ask the organizer, what color is the backdrop? If it's black, honey, don't wear black. You will literally look like a floating head on the camera. The audience, it'll be fine. Won't be great though. But for the camera, you will look like a floating head. So always ask the question, headset, handheld mic, is there a stool? How short is my skirt? What color is the backdrop? There are so many things to think about, you guys. That's for stage. Let's talk about some do's. Do be on brand, but be you, like I said, about what we're wearing. Know your intention. Encourage interaction. Thank you, Annabelle, for bringing that up. We do want to encourage interaction. We don't want to go into like autopilot. But honestly, if you're doing your first Facebook Live and you're freaking out, I would say, you know, make it easy for yourself. Just say to them, hey guys, I would love you guys to comment. Any questions, bring it on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back later. I'm going to watch, you know, when I'm going to go back to the replay, and I'll comment to you with a written comment back to you. So for sure, go ahead and comment. And what you've done is you've set the expectations, but you've basically given yourself a free pass to not answer their questions. So you can literally just focus on what were the 3 things that I said I was going to talk about, right? Where am I looking on the camera? So many people look at themselves, but you actually need to look at the camera. So there's a lot of things to think about. So encourage interaction, but if you feel like it's going to take you off topic or freak you out, don't even worry about it until after. Go back to the replay and then you can engage with them. And I would definitely recommend that anyway, for sure. Always go back to the replay and engage. Make sure you look good and sound good. I actually do not have a mic. I'm literally just using the laptop mic, but I did say to my husband, hey, I think it's time for me to get another mic. I used to use one in the podcasting days, but I haven't lately. And give, get. You know, I always talk about this. You can do educational Facebook Lives. You can do inspirational Facebook Lives. But make sure occasionally you do one that has a call to action that brings you dollars, because we want to be in business, not in hobby, don't we? Okay, so make sure that occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally tell them what to do and make it easy on how they work with you or how they buy your product or your program. And remember, go back to the description in Facebook Live and add the link. So, hey guys, in the video, you know, I tell you about my whatever program, here's the link to find out more. So you go back, you edit the description that you wrote before you went live. So there's so many things that you can do in the lead up and the follow up to really leverage the fact that you spent 10 minutes or 20 minutes doing that Facebook Live. Awesome. Here's a little screenshot of me doing a boomerang. If you don't know what boomerangs are, it's just a quick, you know, this kind of thing. It's when you see people going like, you know, and it just repeats itself over and over. That's something you can do on Instagram. And here I'm doing it for a giveaway. And then so you can go and type on top of it. And the cool thing about a boomerang, you don't have to say anything. It's just a picture. It's like a really quick video and it's over before it even started. But it looks cool. It captures their attention and you put it on your Instagram story. What I do is I'll do a boomerang, I'll save it to my phone, and then I'll flick it out to Instagram because then I can post it to Facebook. I'm leveraging my time. I'm not just doing it once because we know Instagram stories disappear. So I want to save it to my phone so I can use it again. So that's what that is. It's to remind you guys that you can also do Instagram stories where you actually talk, or maybe you just flip the camera and you commentate, but it's not your face. Or maybe you do a boomerang where you just use words and a movement. Here are some don'ts. Some don'ts for you. Don't do this. Zoom, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. Don't do it because you should. If you're in the should zone, think about, actually, what is my intention? Is it really going to benefit me to do a Facebook Live, or do I just feel like I should because everyone else is doing it? So come back to your intention always. Don't be in paralysis. So don't go, oh, I'm not going to do it because, you know, it's not perfect. Like my background's too messy. It's like, well, just go to a different window in your house. You know, you'll see me around my house in different locations. Sometimes I'm in the kitchen. Sometimes I'm in the lounge. Sometimes I'm outside with sunglasses. People like that. They like to know that you're a human and you don't live in your office all the time, even though I feel like lately I do. Don't be stuck in perfection. Don't think like I have to like do a pre-recorded video and it has to be perfect. I know some people will do a video and they'll do another and they'll do another and they won't like it and they'll never post it. Honestly, up your brave and make it happen, publish it. And also, like I said, don't be distracted by the comments. So you can, that's something you might learn how to navigate as you go. Any other questions at this point? Just unmute yourself because I can't see everybody.
Nat, is there a right time for a Facebook Live? Like you mentioned 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Is that sort of, you wouldn't want to go longer than that? Do you lose people's attention?
Hey, that's such a great question. You know, when I do my Wellness Wednesday, it's actually half an hour, which feels really long, but because I'm teaching them something, like today, I'm going to talk about, you know, oils for supporting kids, you know, with feelings of anxiousness. So it's very specific and I'm teaching them. And that's kind of easier in a way than if I'm doing one of these, like a spontaneous Facebook Live. And often you'll see me just holding the phone because I'm just lazy. Like just click it and it's just quick. It's almost better to set it up and lead it on something. But when I do those kind, I normally go 10 minutes or less. Like it's just quick. And so 10 minutes or less is easier for people to consume and they can see the time. So if they see that it's half an hour, they might be like, oh God, I'm not even going to start. I don't know. Whereas, so it really, again, comes back to like, what is your intention and what is your focus? The first F we covered with the 5 Fs. What is your focus? Well, my focus for this call is about, so I might do one, tips for going on radio. Well, that can be 7 minutes. Of course I could talk about radio for half an hour, but I'm going to only do 7 minutes, partly because I want people to watch it, but partly I'm in business. If they want half an hour, they're going to have to join my program, sign up for my whatever. You know what I mean? Like part of it is like, girls, you don't want to give away the freaking farm. Michelle, I know you're a doctor. I know you're not in business and that's not relevant for you, but I want everyone here to be thinking about don't give away the farm. So for you, Michelle, it's like your goal would be how long are they actually going to watch? Because I do want them to watch. So partly it's like break it down into, do 3 10-minute ones instead of a big 30-minute one, maybe. Yeah, and sometimes I play it by ear. Like if people are loving the topic and the questions are coming, like you might think I'm just going to do 7 minutes, but before you know it, it's 25 minutes and it's still going. So I would say be prepared to go longer in terms of your battery, in terms of no one walking in the room ideally, but you can't control everything. But again, come back to your goal, have a focus, a topic, and then just see where it goes. I hope that helps. Let's go to a few more comments. Liz Mitchell, with Facebook Live, who are your reach? Do you mean, so I'm not sure what that question is. You can unmute if you want, but your reach is basically the number of people that are kind of not actually watching it, but seeing it in their feed. So it'll show you your views, and that's the number of people that started watching it. It doesn't mean they actually watched the whole thing. So Sarah Noble, I'd love 300 to 800 views. Yeah, well, Celia's been getting amazing views. So I don't know if she commented, I think she did. Celia, if you want to unmute yourself, you can comment on some of the things that have been resonating, but partly it is the topic and partly it's just the way that you present.
Yeah, and for me, the topic, because I help people get outdoors and into nature, people were trying to look for ideas for their children and how they could, you know, do things with their kids during this time. And so I just literally, the one that got the most views, it got around 20,000, reached 50,000, which is awesome. It was making a doll out of cabbage tree leaves. I kid you not. Like, and that is what went kind of crazy. But yeah, some of the other talks have been really good, and I think someone asked down further, it's a combination of like the skills and the things that Nat's talking about, that combined with the right topic that your audience are wanting. I think those two combined really help, and being clear and concise.
And a lot of it is testing the waters. Like Celia's been doing quite a few Facebook Lives. So you just got to, like I said, see what resonates with your people. If you have a blog post or you do a Facebook post with an image and lots of people comment, then you might go, actually, I'm going to do a Facebook Live about this. You can even survey your audience. Hey guys, I'm going to do a Facebook Live next week. I'm upping my brave. I have a lot of people that use my phrasing back to me or on social media. Go ahead. I'm upping my brave. I'm doing Facebook Live. What do you want to know about that in terms of, and then you insert your niche. What do you want to know about in terms of whatever, parenting, or in terms of health and well-being, or in terms of beauty and skincare? So obviously you want to make it relevant to your niche, because what is your intention? To sell some of your stuff eventually. So I love that. Now Celia's also got two audiences. She normally works mainly with teachers, helping them to bring nature into the classroom and get the kids outside. But now she's got this new audience that's just emerging mainly and magnifying because of COVID, because all the moms are at home going, what do I do with my kids? So for her, it's perfect timing. And so she could have hidden and been like, I'm not going to do it because it's not perfect. But she jumped on it and it's resonating. So really think about that. What can you talk about that's relevant for your people right now, but still heads them down the road towards what you're actually offering? Thank you so much, Celia, for that. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap it up. So one of the things, so you guys have heard me mention a few times, what I want to know, comment in the chat box. Have you found this helpful? Like, have you found this helpful so far? Some of the things we've been covering, the do's and don'ts, the difference between Facebook Live and Zoom and pre-recorded. Awesome, absolutely, yes, great, sweet. So I guess another question is, do you want more trainings? Like, do you want more trainings like this? So it was interesting when we popped on today and everyone's coming in, and I pretty much know most of you, which is amazing because I've been doing this for so long. Like that vibe of seeing all of you guys, you know, that is literally what I do twice a month in my Amplify membership, which is why I've got it on the screen. Edit, more technical stuff, please, in the future. Yes. And I can screen share with you later, like about the settings for Zoom and all the things. But what I wanted to highlight to you guys is if you want more, I want to let you know that in my membership, I have ready to watch videos, probably 15. Ready to watch videos on all sorts of topics, and they're all tagged. So you might go for tech tips, like edit. There's a whole things about tech tips. There's ones for speaking online, you know, there's one online tips. There's one for biz tips, like business strategy and pricing and programs and packages. Then there's other ones about speaking on stage, and there's other ones for media. So depending on where your area of interest, if you have an interest in presenting, be it online, on stage, or in the media, then have a look at my Amplify membership. So that's why I wanted to highlight, because that's where I do these trainings twice a month. We do live mentoring, on the spot mentoring and trainings. Every week I actually do a video in there, which is hot off the press, what's going on. Like I'll tell those girls about StreamYard before anybody else, for example. So if that is something you want, these are the prices. It's $97 a month. And a lot of people just jump in for the 3 months because you save like 40 bucks if you do the math. But I also, what I'm doing for April is I'm offering a free half an hour. And it's not a, I want to sell you on my thing. It's, you literally rock up and go, you basically ask me anything. It's an ask me anything for 30 minutes for half an hour. So it's edit. If you did that and you go, Nat, I want to spend my free half an hour, which is worth like 300 bucks, by the way. I want to spend that doing technical stuff. Can we screen share my Zoom? Can you set me up? Can you show me how to sign up for LinkedIn Live or whatever? We can do whatever you want. So that's just a little bonus I'm throwing in for people who are action takers like me, who want to join in April. Okay, I'll give you guys the link. I'll put it in there. Cool. But it's basically nataliecutlerwelsh.com/amplify membership. Kamini, thank you so much. Always giving so graciously all the time. Oh, that's sweet, my honey. Thank you. So this is what my other setup looks like. This is me when I'm upstairs in the lounge. So some of you might recognize that background. Now, again, I'm facing the window because it's all about the face. Well, it's not all about the face, but when you're confident, you're going to present way better. Also notice I'm actually sitting in this setup. I also have a standing desk. So sometimes I'll stand, but I'm so hyper that most of the time I got to sit down. Some of you, if you're more of a flat personality, no judgment, I would recommend you actually stand for doing.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Stand for doing your online stuff. Okay. Awesome. And hey, Celia and I are working together. I was meant to fly down and do a 1-day Amplify mentoring training with her and Kim. And now we can't do it because of COVID. I'm like, darn it. So in the meantime, what do? we got her a freaking radio interview because it's so topical. What she offers is so topical. We had to jump on it. In the meantime, but when I am allowed to fly, I'm going to go down there and we're going to help her, do your keynote and all the things, which is going to be so much fun. But I wanted to show you guys just a little bit of the behind the scenes of my setup. Of what I'm doing. So whether you want to speak on stage or not, I don't know if anyone here has the goal of speaking to a big audience. My biggest audience is 4,500. Was I nervous? Yes. Did I love it? Yes. So some of you might be like, oh my God, that would be my dream. Or you might be like, that is my nightmare. Some of you might be like, I would love to go on TV. That would be so much fun and be a guest expert.
For an hour and then you can get on.
Some of you might be like, no thanks, you couldn't pay me to go on TV. So it really comes down to what is your intention. These are some of my clients and that we've gotten onto TV. But again, it depends what they're trying to achieve. Judith, yes, I would love to. You would be great. I want to get you on TV. And then I've got this other client at the moment, Lorraine, she's in Wellington, and we got her in a magazine. I've got many girls in the NZ Business Magazine. Why? Credibility, visibility. And by the way, you don't have to be on spot because we just write the article together. You don't have to worry about how you look and what you say because it's just a printed article, but it's really good for your Google ranking. It's really good for credibility. You can put it on LinkedIn, all the things. So that's something else to think about. So Gracella, TV, stage, and radio, you go girl, definitely. And that's the thing. I work with people who have a freaking amazing message, who are actually changing the world in their own way. And that way I don't have to change the world by myself. I just am the girl that shines the light on other people or drags them up onto stage. Amazing. Okay, so here's the other thing I just started offering last week. So one of the things I've noticed is that people are stuck between the should zone, the frustration zone, the disconnected zone, and the impact zone. They want to up their brave, they don't know how, and they're pouring their time and energy into way too many things, right? They're not having the impact or the income usually that they want to have. So what I started offering last week, and I want to offer to you guys, is my impact strategy assessment. My impact strategy assessment is literally 6 questions that I ask you. And together we give you a score, it's a self-score. And then we basically hone in on what you need to do and where you need to focus to actually have the impact that you're wanting to have. And that's probably why you're in the frustration zone. You're trying to do too many things and you don't know how to do it. So this is not for everybody, but this is for you if you think, you know what, bugger it, I am ready to up my game, or I am ready. If you see people on TV or radio and you're like, I want that to be me, maybe this is time to figure out, well, how do we get you there? But let's just start with where do you need to focus your time and your energy to have the impact you want. So that's the link. I'll email it to you as well to make it easier. It's a 30-minute thing. It's free. And so that's for you if you're feeling like, yep, I want to figure out what I'm doing wrong and what I can do to really have more impact. Otherwise, I would say if you just want more content and more connection with awesome women and to get the mentoring that I'm offering at the most affordable, then jump into my Amplify membership. That's definitely the way to go. What we're going to do in this little 30 minutes is we're going to reveal the gaps and where you're best to channel your energy for maximum impact and income. Okay, here's my call to action for you. What is one action that you are going to take because you want to, not because you said you would? What is one thing you're going to do as a result of something that you learned today? Comment in the chat box. One specific thing you're going to do based on what we talked about today. And there's my finishing slide. So you always want to end with a lovely slide, and it has to relate. So I've got my website down the bottom. I've got my phrase, my message on the top, up your brave, say what you want and make it happen. That's what I want you guys to do. My goal for you is to help you up your brave, to say what you want to do, and then to actually make it happen. So I'm going to come back to you all. Hello, everybody. On the screen, I want to see what actions you're going to take. And there you go. That's your power hour. Oh my gosh, it's 3:35. I hope you're, some of you are going to need to have a nap. If you're an introvert, when you work with me, you usually have to schedule a nap afterwards. But what I want to see is some action. I'm not a believer in tall poppy. I think we can change the world. I think Jacinda has shown us that women are here to make a massive difference. It's going to be an interesting new normal that we're going into. So let's see it. If you guys want to say it out loud to add power to it, by all means, unmute yourself. So Liz, Liz, you have Facebook Live. Celia, email the AM show lady back. Yes. Yes, sometimes you do need to like put yourself out there more. So I connected Cecilia with my contact at the AM show. But you do, if you need to get back to them, we need to chase them up a little bit, especially if it's topical. Instagram Live for Allison. Gloria, connecting with your students on violin online. Yes, like I said to Gloria, honey, you can be teaching people how to play the violin using Zoom. It's such a good platform for you doing that. Yay. So Sarah Noble, your finale, you're going to work on your call to action for your Facebook Live, right? Because otherwise all you're doing is give, 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 give. We need to make sure you stay in business and that you receive as well. But also part of that, maybe Sarah, it might even be having an impact strategy session with me, because sometimes if your offering doesn't relate to the Facebook Lives you're doing, there's going to be disconnect. They're going to be like, thanks, that was interesting, but they're not going to buy your thing because there's that disconnect. That's the gap between what you're offering and what you're educating or inspiring them on. Great. Post a video that I recorded last week that wasn't perfect. Yes, go. Great. Diane, change your background. You're gonna change your background. Look at my lighting, you guys. Look at everyone's lighting. Hey, no judgment, but to have a think about the angle of the camera. Like imagine if I was presenting to you like this. Do you feel like you're super connected to me? What about now? Like when you just like mainly see my boobs, which are not very impressive at the best of times, but you know what I mean? Like make sure that you have your screen angled and your lighting is complementary, but you don't have sun streaming into your eye and all the things. So yeah, because I think for some of you, I mean, I could give everybody some feedback, and that's one of the things we do in the Facebook group, by the way, in the Amplify membership. I'm like, post a video of you speaking. I will give you some feedback. But if you want the feedback privately, you can work with me one-on-one. Otherwise, I'm going to, because you can always learn so much from other people as well. That's one of the reasons I love doing the group stuff. Any questions right now about what we covered or what I'm offering, which is the Amplify membership or the impact strategy? Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. It's been super awesome to see you guys. Go outside, have some nature time. I'm going to take my kids to the, outside, go for a big walk. That's why I'm wearing the leggings, in case you're wondering. I'm ready to go. So good to see you guys. Yeah, just unmute yourself or comment if you've got any questions. I'm going to hang around for like 5 or 10 more minutes.
Hey Nat, thank you so much for this. This has been really amazing.
Awesome, thanks.
And yeah, I'll give you a call with regards to a couple of ideas I've had.
Amazing,
on
thank
this
you.
Call.
Very good. Okay. So Kim says she's going to do a Facebook Live starting with a closed group. So that does feel safer. Kim, I love that. Like you're feeding it into a safe space where people already know you. And like if you stuff it up, it's no biggie. So that's really smart strategy. And that way you raise your confidence. So the only thing that I would do for you, Kim, is literally raise your computer. My computer is sitting on a box. It's like sitting on one of my doTERRA boxes so that I have it more at eye level. If I have it on my desk, it looks more like, like I would be like this to you, and it just has a different feeling for you, the viewer. So that's one tip for you, Kim. I would be like, just raise your laptop up. And you also have a lot of windows around you, which is cool, but it's also a little bit backlit. So you do look a little bit shady. And you also blend in, not that you're asking, but I'm going to tell you, you're blending in a little bit with your background. So of course, these are some of the things I mentioned, the 5 Fs. The thing is with the 5 Fs, we haven't even touched on what you're actually going to say. All we did was, the fashion, the face, the framing. So there's so many things to think about. And like I said, if you guys want more help with that, Amplify membership, $97 a month, just join, just leave when you don't want it anymore. That's probably that's like the best way to do it. Or if you actually go, Nat, that's great, but I don't want to hear about everyone else's business. I just want you to help me. I do have a couple of other options. So just message me if you want to know about that. Annabelle's going to post her stress webinar. Yes, of course. If you record something, you want to leverage it and put it out there, either as a public, upload it to Vimeo or YouTube public, or you can do unlisted. It's up to you. That's cool.
Nat?
Annabelle, you want to know what your lighting's like? Awesome. Your lighting is fine. However, because you've got she owns a chemist, 2 or 3. And so she's wearing this white chemist jacket, which is the same color as your wall. So I know you can't really change what you're wearing. I mean, you can. So I would just say, is there any other background that's not matchy with your jacket? Or that painting behind you, can you angle it so the painting is like actually behind you instead of just kind of partly? So that is maybe better. And the other thing I would do is I would also elevate your camera so that it's literally like, do you guys know what I mean? Like it's literally, my computer is sitting on a box like this, like it's just sitting on a box. So, or you can get books, like 6 or 7 books, and just sit your laptop on it to make it, because what I want to see is this, like this is not as confident. Like you want to kind of like be confident. This is about you as an expert sharing your expertise. Just the angle of the camera alone can disempower. Look how I don't look as much of an expert. Do you agree? Right now? So that's what I'm trying to like highlight to you guys. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
Is it better net if I lift my computer this high?
No, because all I can see is your neck. That's better. So what's happened is I just lost your body. Like now I know it's still angled. It's fine. What I don't want to see is, you see a lot of people doing Facebook Lives like this, up at their nose. I don't want that. You're almost better to do a Facebook Live if you're like above you. See how that's so much more complimentary? If I was holding the camera, I wouldn't really sit here with my laptop, but you see the difference? Or versus like this, right? So Annabelle, it's also super echoey in that room. So one thing you guys can do is get like baby mattresses. My husband has a duvet cover on his wall so that it's not super echoey when he does his podcast or his Zoom meetings. So I don't know if that's possible in your office, but if you guys just make sure you don't sound too echoey. It's just a distraction. It just makes you seem like less, not you, Annabelle, just everybody, like less of an expert if people are distracted by the echo or anything like that. Okay, Allison, I need a decent laptop. Yes, working off the iPad is fail. Oh, I don't use the iPad. I just don't feel confident with it. So yeah, I love my laptop. For Facebook Lives, I much prefer my phone. I have trust issues with the new platform on Facebook Live, which I can show you guys if you want. It's just more confusing, and I literally almost don't know where to look. Like they've just changed it slightly. I've also done a few where they go into the wrong page. So I'm like, I thought I posted this on my wellness page, and now it's popping up on my other page. Like, so I have trust issues with Facebook Live. That's why I use StreamYard. I have more control, which I like. Thanks for joining me, Sarah. I hope to see you soon. I'm going to email you guys if you're on the list. I'm going to email you with the picture of me in the morning. And I'm also going to send you the link to book your impact strategy assessment or jump into the membership if you're ready. Awesome. Thank you for joining me. Valerie, I hope it's been useful for you. Debbie, awesome to see you for the second time today. Love you in yellow. Good to see you again, guys. All right. Any other questions? Cool.
Question from me, Nat. I have an issue where I sit